up guys, Pokeball here today, and today Jazza has made a new art challenge. Essentially, it's his ultimate character design. You throw a whole bunch of categories together and then you make this super cool character out of them. Popcross of course did this on his channel, and by the time I'm recording this, the video just got out this Monday. I had everything set up, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna make three categories, and I'm going to narrow those categories down to a character or some special thing from that category. Okay. First I'm going to do the category, then I'm going to do a hero or villain, and then I'm going to add just a category to that. And speaking of that, I forgot to add DC. OC pretty much just means original characters, so if it lands on original characters, I'll do one of my original characters. Okay, tap to spin. The first category is going to be Naruto. I was really hoping it would land on Naruto, but I don't know much about Naruto. I'll spin again. So C, that's gonna be interesting. That's just gonna be interesting. And last but not least, My Hero Academia. Okay, this is gonna be one of those episodes. It's gonna be very anime. So let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm going to narrow this down to heroes and villains. There's of course heroes and villains in my OC world, and there's heroes and villains in the other story. So I'm just gonna narrow it down to the heroes and villains of the franchises. So here we go. No! Okay. Okay, I don't know too much about Naruto, but I know these are the main villains, and I'm not including Boruto because if I don't know about Naruto, I'm pretty sure I won't know about Boruto. But I know these are the three main villains of the series. So, let's get started. Okay, Madara. Yes, I was betting on Madara. Okay, so here are the main My Hero Academia villains. I decided to not include Moonfish, Muscular, and that third Colonel guy. I wanted to include the Colonel guy, but I didn't want it to risk ending up on Moonfish. I hate Moonfish so much. He's so creepy. It's like not a cool villain creepy. It's just creepy. And I couldn't do that because it wouldn't be fair to Muscular or Colonel if I just excluded him. So because some of them had an even smaller role. I could have included Muscular, but you know what? Let's just do this. Wait, all for one, or Dobby, all for one or Dobby. Of course. Dude, I wanted all for one or Dobby. At least Shigaraki would have done. Shigaraki would have done. Okay, so I have a bunch of other villains in my OC universe, but these are the only ones that are pretty much done. So I'm gonna just use the spin. Okay, wow. Luck was not on my side. I didn't get any of the characters I wanted, except for Madara. I didn't want Naruto, I didn't want My Hero Academia, I didn't want my OC characters. When I said most of these characters were done, most of my OC characters were done, I lost a bunch of pictures for my other OC picture of DNA. Okay, and he went by a different name back then. And this is from I think this is from 5 years ago, because that's when I started making my first comics. I got my least favorite character from My Hero Academia. I got my least favorite I like Madara, so he's not bad. Yeah, it's just I don't know too much about Naruto. I know about My Hero Academia, but I already did My Hero Academia in another video, and I didn't want. And I don't like Mr. Compress. He's my least favorite in the League of Villains. And I would have been happy with anyone else, literally anyone else. As you can probably tell, I'm not using Procreate like I normally do. Procreate has a lot better time lapse thing, and I decided to use Autodesk because Autodesk, while it lags, has technically a bit of better tools than Procreate sometimes, and the fill doesn't mess up all the time, and if your picture is too small, it doesn't pixelate like Procreate does. Procreate has its strengths and Autodesk has its strengths, but they both have their weaknesses. And when I compared the two, Procreate had more weaknesses. The reason I stopped using Autodesk is because I didn't think it had a good time lapse, and I was right. And also it would lag. The reason it would lag is I would use the correct, that thing where it makes your lines better, it makes your things better. I'm not using it right here because this is the rough sketch edge, but it makes squiggly lines turn into straight lines, and really bad looking circles turn into really good looking circles. Every time I would use that, I would just keep going, and I wouldn't stop, and then the tablet would lag because I was using too much and I couldn't process it. Sometimes it just lags even when I don't do that. I saw this character was looking a little weird, so I had to make him shorter. Once I figured that out, yeah. The audio was very crappy for my previous videos, so I'm trying to fix that by making this audio at least somewhat okay. And yeah, the parts that you don't recognize from Mr. Compress or Madara comes from DNA, and I remember what DNA was supposed to look like, but I kept the reference as a comic book as a reminder, because when I was first making this, I made it look too much like Mr. Compress and Madara
without Fossil Fist at all. Yeah, the Rinnegan was really hard to draw. I had to draw that light thing. I took that mask as inspiration because Mr. Compress has a mask and DNA has a mask, but Madara doesn't. So I decided to take the mask from the Naruto universe and put it on the face. Since Mr. Compress wears it, and Fossil Fist wears it. DNA, I keep calling him Fossil Fist because that's the name I gave him. That's the name I gave him when I first made him. I was thinking of making a story for this video, but that would have taken all day, and I'm kind of not in the mood to make a story. This design was hard enough as it was, and I did a lot better. I did a lot better using the fill on Procreate. Normally I would just use the solid fill, but this time I used the tolerance fill, and it made it look a lot less amateur-y. It's still my art style, but the fill looked a lot better. And with the shoes, I decided to make a last minute change to the shoes, because the shoes were just straight up you couldn't tell what the shoes were, and they were just black. So I decided to make them like Mr. Compress's shoes, where they were black and the tip was white. And I decided to make the fossil on the cane look more realistic. And then I realized what the cane looked like, and then I had to change the cane because he doesn't have a cane, and neither does Madara. And Madara, I'm also taking inspiration from Madara's staff, and I considered making the whole thing the staff and just doing something else for Mr. Compress, but I decided to just stick to the Compress. The reason the thing is green is because it was supposed to represent one of Mr. Compress's marvels. But it doesn't really do that. It's just like, it just feels a little weird. And I kept messing up on coloration for this, and I have to use the smudge pen a lot just to fix it, and I eventually do fix it so it doesn't look as weird as it used to. Or you just don't notice it as much as you would have. The tolerance filler was a bit rough because it was kind of annoying. Because it would stick on the thing. It wouldn't go to the color I had. It would just go to whatever color it used to be on, and that was useful for some things. But when I did other stuff, it got annoying. Especially when I only was gonna fill in the thing once. Also, I feel like there's a lot of competing colors here. I did my best to make it not look like that too much, but yeah, I feel bad for. The time lapse. I'll see what I can do to make the time lapse a lot less like this. I might have to find a video that can do this. I decided to call it Atashiro de Uchiha because Atashira is pretty much Mr. Compress's real name, and Uchiha as in Madara Uchiha, and D as in DNA. That doesn't give me the final boss feel, but anything else would have just not made sense. I had in the background, I had no idea what to add, so I just added in the desert, as in Naruto, the desert is a common area that people go to. And DNA used to be an archaeologist, and Madara and Mr. Compress. I don't know anything about Mr. Compress, why he would be in the desert. So Oh, like two out of three wouldn't be horrible. I thought I might put a city in the background, but I didn't. But because it just didn't, it just wouldn't fit. Why would a city be right next to a desert? Unless it's like Africa or something. But all these people, 2 out of 3 of these characters are from Japan, so or a place similar to Japan. I feel like I'm copying Pop Cross. I'm just copying Pop Cross on the way I'm doing the filling thing. But I still have to figure out how to use the shading properly. Because I have to figure out how to use the select tool or to create shading because it wasn't working properly. And well, the video is almost about to wrap up now because this is the stuff I did today, and I know that thing's about to be done. And I was trying to make it look like the thing was encased in the staff, but that didn't work out. This ends up looking a little bit weird, but it's hardly noticeable. Oh. And surprisingly, and I kind of like this design now because I really don't like 2 out of 3 of these characters, but I made it work. I might try this again, and hopefully I'll get better characters, and better franchises. So I'm just gonna remove Naruto and all the other things from this list. Here's my design. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I kind of did. Look, even though I don't really like the characters, they're the design kind of came out a lot better than I was expecting. Especially since I came in clutch learning how to use temporal fill function. So, well, if you're an artist, give a crack at this challenge, and hopefully I'll do this challenge again with better characters that I like, and hopefully not my OC characters because my OC universe is far from done. So, and also this is kind of a bonus video since I didn't really upload anything last week. I was supposed to upload something for Smallest. Yes, I have 2 pictures right now, but I couldn't really make a video about it because I didn't make a time lapse for either of them. I could make like a time lapse video for the other one, but I didn't make one for the traditional art. So, peace out. Boom.